All right, here we are for round number 1 with our Teachings 104. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's not great against a lot of matchups, but if our opponent's playing creatures, it's going to be pretty strong. And it looks like our opponent is playing creatures, so got a pretty good hand against all of the different varieties of green-white decks. I got an Edict for Boggles, plus I just drew the 7 cards Justice. Cower and Fear is obviously great against them as well. Soul Sisters, even better against this token deck. I would be very surprised if our opponent could beat this hand, even if I don't draw any lands for a long time. But if I draw Black Source, it's all over. Alright. Okay, Counterspell. Probably not countering anything here, but you never know. Looks like our opponent's probably on the Deluxikov version of the token deck. I don't know for sure that they have red, but you got all these tapped lands, just like Deluxe has. I'm not gonna counter anything that gets killed by Avant-Card Justice. I'll just take care of that stuff later. Radiant Fountain. So another Radiant Fountain, not a great draw, but don't want to miss any land drops either, so it's fine. Would really like to draw Black Source. The only thing I would kill... yeah, Bodyguard is fine. All this stuff still dies to Cower and Fear and everything. The only creature I would counter... The only card I would counter would be Midnight Guard. Don't really see any reason to counter anything else. Colony Garden, sure. Again, all this stuff dies to Cower and Fear, so... As long as I draw another black in the next... I don't know, I've got a lot of time. 6, 7, 8 turns probably. Alright, still didn't draw one yet. Probably not going to cast anything here. Again, I'll probably counter a Midnight Guard, but other than that, I probably won't counter anything. Presence of Gund is fine. Again, all this stuff still dies to Cower and Fear. So not worried about it yet. Alright, taking some damage. Not a big deal. Alright, not great. Not a great draw. I'm probably just going to discard rather than... Maybe I should have cast something last turn just so I wouldn't have to discard here, but I don't really want to go down on the counterspell. I'll discard a Chainer's Edict, I think. It's a pretty bad card. Maybe I've been getting a little too greedy here, but I don't think so. Still have a number of turns to find what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and Agony Warp, I think actually. No. Whatever, I'll just wait. Alright, let's kill this plant. My opponent wants to save it with the Bodyguard, that's cool. I assume they will. Alrighty. I just want to be able to Echoing Decay it in case I don't draw anything. Alright, let's cycle that, try to find a land. Alright, well, can't buy a land, unfortunately. Yep. We're still in great shape. I still have like several more turns to find land here. Let's go ahead and Echoing Decay these Elf Warriors. I think my opponent's holding up Prismatic Strands probably. Oh boy. Well, I'm just gonna play that. It's pretty crazy. I might actually lose this game. But they aren't going to be able to play a Midnight Guard plus a Presence on it this turn, so it's not the worst. Dude, my opponent's got, is it a Battle Screech? Yep. I'll probably Echoing Decay the birds away, just because I don't want to take... Like, if I don't draw a Swamp for, like, 3-4 more... I still have a lot of turns, if I Echoing, especially if I Echoing Decay them away. Obviously, I want to be able to keep this avant-garde justice in my hand. Alrighty. Well, that went fine still. My opponent's got a lot of triggers to stack each turn. Alright, goodbye bird. Another Devour Flesh. Cannot buy a land of any kind, unfortunately. So our draw has been just heinously bad. We had such an awesome set of cards. Sens Enlistment, don't care about that. Not going to counter that. Yeah, we had just like such an insane set of cards in our opening hand, and still haven't drawn, and even like a blue source I haven't drawn. All right. There we go. That'll end this one. That will definitely end this game. The Cower in Fear will be enough to finish it off for sure. It is going to take us a while to kill this opponent, but it is what it is. They didn't even attack. That was obviously a mistake. I don't think they have any pump spells in this deck, but I'm not going to screw around with it, I don't think. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can wait. They've only got 7 power here. And this way, if they play a pump spell to kill me, I'll be able to counter it. Okay. Rally. Don't have to counter that. Just go ahead and Cower in Fear. Rip. Rip all of your creatures. Alright, perfect. So I wanted to be able to hold up Counterspell when I did that, but I wasn't able to. But that's fine. Soul Warden, sure. Gonna get another Swamp, I think. Doesn't really matter, I need both colors. But looks like we won this game. Should be no problems here at all. Grab an island, play it. How much mana do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I'd rather hold up Counterspell than use the Avant-Garde Justice. Not really necessary to use it right away. Okay, Commune actually gonna pretty significantly increase my opponent's clock on themselves. They did get some sweet value. Looks like they took a Soul's Attendant. Yep. So I think I'll Devour Flesh here. Okay. So I'll take the 1 and then I'll be able to Justice here. And I'll have Counterspell up for after that, after I'm done. So they can't flash back the Prismatic Strands because they sacrificed the one that wasn't attacking in order to get in 1 more damage. Yep. Seems fine to me. So we've pretty much locked up this game, I would imagine, but we're gonna have to play it for a little longer. Just gonna go ahead and I don't even need to kill these guys. They aren't doing anything. Yeah, let's just go ahead and Pieces of the Puzzle. See if I can find a Teachings here. Didn't find a Teachings, but another Avant-Garde Justice is pretty good. I think I'd rather the Doomblade than another Exclude. Our opponent doesn't know I already have an Exclude, but obviously I do. But yeah, I would recommend just skipping to the next game, but I'm going to play this whole thing out. Opponent's got an interesting deck. Obviously, they've got Retrace and stuff. which is not quite as powerful of a mechanic as buyback. In fact, it's not nearly as powerful, but it's not nothing. All right, Battle Screech is fine. So Battle Screech means that I can have a card Justice and counterspell, get all this stuff off the table. So we'll just do that. Cast it with buyback. Okay, they didn't even bother. Didn't even bother to use Prismatic Strands. Maybe they don't know it works against Card Justice. And maybe they do, I don't know. Looks like we're getting another Sen's Enlistment. Doesn't do anything. None of these, I don't know. I'm getting 2 life a turn. None of their spells matter. I'm going to go ahead and just grab another... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab another one of these talismans, so I'm gaining 3 a turn. Eventually I'll draw a Bojuka Bog, and I'll be able to take all this stuff out of here. Thing is, they're just dealing me less damage each turn than I'm gaining, so I don't really care if they keep attacking me for 2 damage a turn. Don't care about Benevolent Bodyguard. Let's see what this is. Yeah, I'll exclude a Midnight Guard. I mean, no reason not to. Okay, we got the Disfigure. I guess I'll just disfigure this Bodyguard here. Then 11 Card Justice these guys away. All right. Looking good. Like I said before, our opponent has no outs. I'd recommend just skipping to sideboarding. I think our opponent's just going to make us kind of play this whole thing out. And I'm perfectly happy to wait 32 turns. My opponent is behind me on time, and they can do that all they want. Yep, Battle Screech. You did it. You've resolved the Battle Screech. Let's think twice. Found a land. So that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I don't even care if they protect their guys with that Prismatic Strands. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and discard this Chainer's Edict. Wonder if our opponent will concede at all. We're just chilling here. Actually, I'm not going to make you guys sit through this, so I'm going to like Card Justice pretty much every turn for the rest of the game until all their creatures are dead. I'll counter any Midnight Guards, and I'm not going to counter anything else from the whole deck pretty much, and it's just going to take a long time. So I'll pause it, and we'll get back in sideboarding. Alright, so my opponent made me play out the whole thing. I think we're down to like 13 minutes for him and 14 minutes on the clock for me. I'm going to bring in these relics because my opponent's got all that graveyard value. I'm going to bring in the Duresses and the Shrivels. I don't think I need the Dispels. I guess they have a number of instances that I should consider. Zombie Outlander is okay. It does block stuff. I probably won't want it though. So these are the ones I want for sure. So let's see what I want to take out. Basically, I want to take out almost all of the Edicts. I'm going to leave in, like, I guess the Devour Fleshes, but really don't need those at all. Alright, well, that looks perfect to me. I do want to keep in, I want to take out the Crypt Incursion. That's pretty bad, so bring in a Dispel for that one. And then I like all the target removal is okay, and I don't mind having a couple Edicts. Like, I want to be able to tutor these out, and hitting their 1-drop with an Edict isn't that bad. Counterspells are all good. Oh, sorry, I opened my window. I quick close that. There you guys got a face full of my shirt. So I like this stuff. Their deck's pretty slow, so counterspells are fine against them. Fairy Trickery is a nice one to hit some of the buyback stuff or whatever. Oh, is this 105? No, this is just 104. Okay. We're all good. We're all good with the 104. So I'm going to play this one really fast. I'm up 1.5 minutes on my opponent. We got an Echoing Decay, which is pretty good. I'll keep this. We've got mana. Echoing Decay is a nice one. Boneyard, sure. So if they play like a Soul's Attendant or something like that, I'll probably disfigure it. The problem with this deck against our deck is they are so slow. Like their mana base is crazy slow. Looks like they missed with Commune. That's pretty insane. I guess the deck doesn't have that many creatures, but it's still pretty crazy to just miss straight up. I really don't want to have to discard, so hopefully I have a spot to use one of these this turn. Doesn't really look like I'm going to. So I guess I'm going to play another tapped land next turn. Grabbing an island here. This one will probably grab a swamp. Alright, play the Talisman. Looks good. Gonna have 6 here. Gotta conserve my clock. If I magically, like there's almost no way I lose this game, but if I somehow lose this game, I could be in trouble here. Alright, so he's got a bodyguard. I'm fine with that. I think I'm gonna Teachings here for a Doomblade. I'm gonna play a Dimir Aqueduct. Yep, grabbing the Doomblade. Picking up the island. So even if my opponent combos me next turn, it's not gonna win them the game. Yeah. So they'll have to play out the whole thing, and it'll be a little annoying because this bodyguard. Ooh, a Standard Bearer. Alright. Now we're getting to the point where my opponent has a lot of protection. But I do have Teachings now for Cower in Fear. That's probably what I should have gotten in the first place, but I wanted to be able to kill the bodyguard too. Yeah, so I'm going to Teachings for Cower in Fear. I guess I'll leave up Teachings for Counterspell though, in case I need it. Yeah. I should have played this and gotten a swamp with it. Whatever. Taking the damage. Forgot I took all those stops off last game, so Sun's Enlistment is perfectly fine. Let's always yield to that. Alright, let's go ahead and use the flashback one for the sake of mana efficiency here. Gonna grab the Cower in Fear and just pop all this stuff. Where is that Cower in Fear? Did I accidentally take it out? No, there it is. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to have another black source up this turn. Maybe I'll just draw a swamp. Didn't happen. Oh, don't need to tap that one. I'll just play this main phase. Yep, gonna protect him. That's fine. Yeah, if I had another Swamp Up, I could just disfigure him and finish him off. So that's not great for me that I just speed that off that way, but it is what it is. And I also possibly should have played this island just so I could Teachings for something. Spider Silk Armor, okay. Still dies to Doomblade. Glad I got my Cower in Fear down before that happened to me. Swamp. Tap that. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I do want to have 8, because I want to be able to Doomblade plus Teachings for Counterspell if I need to. Battle Screech. I'm fine with Battle Screech. That gets hit by Echoing Decay just fine. Yep, alright. So let's go ahead and just kill this stuff. I Doomblade you. Echoing Decay you. Teachings, gonna go grab, I think I'm gonna grab the Fairy Trickery actually. That way I can take out any pesky, if he plays the Sun's Enlistment, I'll just Fairy Trickery it. get it out of the graveyard. It's interesting that my opponent wants another land and isn't just casting Sense Enlistment here. Maybe they just want to try to get me to use my Fairy Trickery first. That resolves. I'll just disfigure that guy. Alright, disfigure you. It'll be much more realistic for us to kill our opponent this game with Evankar Justice. They just have a lot less they have a lot less life at this point than they did last time. Alright, Prismatic Strand's gone. Not a bad one there. So all I have left is this Midnight Guard. Let's see if they jam it. Hit it with the Exclude. Alright, yep, this game's over. I'd recommend just going to the next video at this point. There's absolutely no way our opponent comes back from this. I guess I might start capsizing them out, maybe starting next turn. Alright, Bojuka Bog to get rid of their graveyard should really finish the deal. Finish the whole thing off there. Any value that they might have had is gone. Yep, False Summoning. Let's go ahead and grab a capsize here. I'll just start putting all their lands back in their hand. Hopefully they'll concede. That's kind of what happens with this deck is eventually you just start capsizing all their lands just so they'll concede a little faster to you. Yep, that was it. Cool. So we got that one. This is a pretty good matchup for the deck. I've never lost to it. It's really hard to lose. I have so much stuff for it. So we did it. Opponent realized we're not going to time out, so we're good to go. I'll see you guys next round.